Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Astroneer with your friend Kuros Paladin. Thank you for joining me today, and we are going to, I am going to show off, well, I already did it, I didn't intend to, but you can see home base is a little more sparse now. We just have a little bit of leftover trash here, signs of the party, I guess it were. Uh, so just about everything has relocated to the new production base. So I spent about 2 hours working on this, um, and I'm happy with it. It isn't exactly what I was hoping for, but it's difficult to visualize. It's easy to visualize. It's difficult to make that vision come true when you start actually trying to execute it and you realize, oh, this is a little bit too far over, or this isn't quite the right size, whatever, this isn't going to work the way I wanted it to. So, got a really quick sneak preview there. We have probably too many of these extra large C platforms laid out. I don't think I'll actually need all of these. I realized as I was printing them, it's like, oh, I printed two extra. Well, we'll just tack them on the end here. I could always repurpose these if needed. This particular platform right here was really giving me problems. I would put it down, and then I realized there was like just terrible paint underneath it, the colors. So I tried to very carefully put down a little bit of paint and it bucked, and I'm not kidding, it flew to right about over here every time it bucked. And it did it about 3 or 4 times, and I was really starting to get really frustrated with it. But uh, I may have said it before, I want to say sometimes instead of B with buck, I want to put an F there instead. But anyhow, these large platform Bs are temporary. They are not permanently placed. I haven't discovered exactly where I want to put them yet. They're just there because I need the storage. I like these for storage better than the large platform C. Yes, I know you could get 16 canisters on here, or heck, you could even get 48 on there if you really wanted to, but it just doesn't look right. Also, these are easy to access. I can see what it is, and I can just grab it. And they're on a silo or they're on medium storage here. You got to go around to the backside and look. And no, I'd much rather just have these B platforms. Silos are great for some things, but for storing canisters, they just look wrong. I feel like there was just one point in the game where when silos were introduced. Don't get me wrong. You can see I've got one here on the print platform. They're great for tier one, or if you want to store tier two things. But when you're trying to put storage on storage, I still believe the best way is the large storage with the medium storage. It just looks better. It's not as optimized, but it just looks better. Same thing with these. It just looks better. When the silos came out, and then you've got these giant silo Bs with 12 large canisters or 12 of these hanging off of it, it just looks, I don't know, it just doesn't look, what's the word I'm looking for? It just doesn't look right. I had my fingers off by one on the keyboard there. Anyhow, I also printed up an atmospheric condenser. So usually, this is my usual loadout, as it were, on a production facility. I have one platform that just has two of each printer, and then that silo there where I can just put ingredients for any type of auto printing. This smelter will be replaced eventually when I get portable smelters, but for now, that's there. And then, of course, this usually I actually kind of have these the other way around usually. And then this is living here for right now just because I don't have anywhere else for it. Um, And then I'll have like a giant new, one of the new extra large soil canisters there. Over here, more storage next to each of these. I usually have these two paired. They just seem to pair very well with each other. And then I'll have one with a extra large shredder and storage there, as well as uh, large canister and a large canister to hold scrap, and then the trade platform, which actually I do have. I brought it over here. There we go. Um, nope, that's the XO request platform. Never mind. We'll just leave it there for right now. Uh, these are not necessarily in on their final platforms. The print may stay here because the medium platforms, I always have one 90 degrees off. And it's kind of nice to have it go over here into the corner as opposed to going into another platform. But this will probably be where the extra large shredder will go. I kind of like it at the end. Plus, I think I'm going to have kind of a drive or a service drive here for rovers. So when I bring rovers in, I can just drop off junk to scrap and just have the shredder right there. Um, so these actually will probably end up over here, like so. Um, I did this nitrogen for a mission, which I've completely forgotten all about missions. So I do need to actually concentrate on some of those. You know, I've been so focused on Main Street and TTC that I've forgotten about, hey, there's a lot more to do in this game, and building this base was one of those. Um, then I also have a whole bunch of these platforms that were left over from the other base that event. Oh, I love. I like how I can lock these. That is hilarious. The ones that are on top. That's hilarious. Um, but those are from the other base. I may or may not keep them. I can't do anything with them until I get an extra large shredder anyhow. So, actually, I do have a medium gas canister that was a result of that mission. Um, so we'll just go ahead and do that and get some nitrogen in there. I would start collecting hydrogen, but I don't have the power yet at this point. So I've been thinking about what do I do next in this game for this. And I really want to start focusing on um, getting... Is that nitrogen? That's argon. Okay. I really want to focus on getting some resource gathering happening. So I'm going to need a lot of resin. A lot of resin. I'm going to need, for automation, zinc. I'm going to need quartz. I'm going to need copper. I'm going to need aluminum. So I'm going to need a lot. So for all of those resources to gather, I like to do it with auto extractors. Auto extractors are power hungry. It takes 8U per second to run them. Plus, if I run rails to them, which I almost certainly will, then there's the train and the cost that it has as well, the 1U per second as the car moves around. So, I have a lot of bytes. I actually do have enough to go ahead and unlock the RTG. I could actually start working on nanocarbon alloy. I just need to get helium. So that means a trip off to Atrox, because that is, of course, the only place that it is available. If I get this atmospheric condenser set up, even if it doesn't have the 20U, you know, it only has whatever I can give it. And then I leave it there and come back an hour, 2 hours later, whatever, I'll have enough helium to get a couple of RTGs. I only really need to get a good production facility going, about 4 or 5 RTGs at the start. Um, and then it just kind of uh, not cannonball, snowballs from there. I can also set up solar panels and wind turbines instead of the RTGs. The only downside to solar panels and wind turbines is, of course, they only work when there's wind. They only work when there is sun. Um, but so if I look at that, that's 10,500, which is 2,000 bytes less than what I need for the RTG. So I'm trying to do a little bit of math here. The large battery, though, look at that, 16,000. That is overkill for storing power, but batteries would be a solution to the solar and wind, because now when they're running, it stores it. This is where we're at in the real world right now. Hey, we have solar and wind capability, but now we got to figure out how to store that power because it's not always available. So I've been thinking about which direction do I want to go. Do I want to do solar and wind and just stay here on Silva? Or do I want to go ahead and try for RTGs right up front? Ultimately, I decided I'm going to stay here on Silva because going back and forth to other planets gets really expensive. I need the ammonium, and ammonium deposits are rare on Silva, to the best of my knowledge. I mean, I've seen 2 useful ammonium deposits so far. Um, so I need to scout locations for various resources. Some of these will be really easy. Like, unfortunately, this area might be developed. I'm not entirely sure. It is a little bit too close to the base. But resin, I can find it just about anywhere. There are a lot of potential um, malachite up here. I say potential because malachite deposits on the surface of Silva are usually very disappointing. It isn't until you drop an auto extractor on top of it and then you see how rich that deposit really is. So this might look like a good deposit, but then I actually drop an auto extractor and it fills the bar like a tenth of the way or something. Um, so I need to locate resources. Um, I need to plan out how I'm going to get to them. Am I going to start right off the bat by putting rail to each of them, or am I just going to run to them once in a while, grab their resources, and bring the resources back until I can get a rail network built? Because if I do it that way, then the rail network at that point is just, all right, now all I'm doing is just collecting resources for the sake of collecting resources. But some of them, like resin, you just can never have enough. So I feel like this is a car that got lost in the lawn over here. Um, I put those platforms that far apart so I can do exactly that, so I can sneak in. And you can see also how I handled the rail coming in. So here's my siding with the station, and then here's the main line. And it goes all the way over to the junction. So eventually this can extend onward to wherever it may go. Or it just, for the time being, it will just loop right back. So we can just do that. Um, so, um, I think I'm gonna, as I said, stick on planet. So that means solar arrays and wind turbines, because I could just set them up and put them somewhere temporarily, and the great thing is they can move around. my power production, as I call it, I usually put off in the distance, and that might be one of those spurs off of the home base, or it could even be this leads off to it. Especially solar, it's nice to have them spread around on the horizon. That way, some of them are active while it is night time here. So, okay. I'm trying to explain the logic of what my plans are. So, looking at the ingredients required, I can actually do these. I do have to get graphene for both of them. Um, so that does mean I need to find ammonium. Ammonium is such a key product or resource. And I know you can trade for it, uh, but I'm not there yet. I'm not at that point where I can trade for ammonium. Uh, so I need to find an ammonium deposit and bring a good portion of ammonium back here. Now, I do know I have that beacon at the 1. I want to leave that alone. That could be my auto extractor. It isn't that far away. Um, so it could be very useful. I may find another one. So this is going to be an exploration, and before I forget, I do have one beacon there, but I should grab a little more quartz. And it's not a big deal to just grab the entire, well, there's only 2 in there. So it will be 6 of one or half a dozen of the other at that point. I thought I had more quartz. All right, so I'm going to start looking for ammonium deposits and also clay deposits. This resin deposit very well could be the one that I use, but resin is so common, you know, I trip over it. So, oh, look at this! Look at this! I yeah, I mean it could be a good one, um, but I'm not sure because until I put an actual auto extractor on it, I won't know. But hey, that's actually not bad. Hopefully, it'll be a good one. I'm gonna look near hills because that is, of course, where ammonium usually is in hills. And I was wondering last time if that was a vehicle bay or uh, um, I forgot what the other thing could have been. Oh, abandoned rock landing pad, and it is, of course, a vehicle bay. So I am going to sneak around and look in here because ammonium does like to hide in these hills. And I haven't seen anything, so and that's the other thing about these resources is with auto extractors, if they are near another resource, then you run the risk of, and I've had this happen way too many times, I set up an auto extractor on, say, a really nice looking titanite deposit, and then it's pulling up compound because there's compound nearby, and you can't filter it. So, all right, nothing in there. There's a potential clay deposit. Um, Actually, this is a very promising deposit. Unfortunate. Oh, but I already. Yeah, maybe not. What I've discovered is if you do not disturb a deposit whatsoever, the infinite glitch works reliably. As soon as you disturb the deposit, the infinite glitch seems to no longer work. It looks like it is, but over time it eventually depletes itself very slowly. In fact, in my save number 9, I had a graphite deposit that I accidentally was had the terrain tool out and accidentally just like tapped the terrain and got a tiny amount of graphite. And then ever since then, every time I would reset the auto extractor on that deposit, the amount would just decrease until finally um, there was none left. I did get around 3,000 graphite out of it, so I'm not going to complain. And I used almost all 3,000 as well. All right, so exploration, that's part of this game. Top off on some O2 and just keep looking. Is that some up here? Nope. Oh wait, yeah, here's some up here. Until I actually put an auto extractor on it, I don't know. So I'll go ahead and get one there. And my O2 is also already a lot lower than I anticipated. The base. Where is the base in relation to here? Is it that way? Am I really that far away? No. Oh, I don't have a beacon there yet. That's why. Okay. I think it's through this hill here. I think it's like over this way. I think. Oh, hey, look. All right. This is another promising deposit, so long as there is nothing else nearby. I don't see anything else nearby. Whoops. Come on. I don't know why I'm... Alright, I think, for right now, I'm gonna mark these. So that is, I've got 4 potential sites, right? 4? I just put down 3, and then there's the one that I put down long ago. Actually, you know what? I think the base is over here. The production base. I really should put a beacon there, so that I actually know where the heck I'm going. I'm pretty sure it's over here. Yep, I see my rails right there, and there we go. Okay. Alright. I also have to find a parkade or a parking area for my vehicles when I bring them over here. It's kind of funny to put it right there in the middle of like that, but it just doesn't look right. Alright, so ammonium. Those are deposits that I want to tap. Now I just need to gather some ammonium. Not a lot. Only 4 or 5 ammonium. But I want to gather that from a deposit that is not suitable for a auto extractor. And I'm pretty certain I found some of those earlier too, wandering around. So what I'm going to do... I just immediately... Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, that was a mistake. Ow? That was kind of painful. There we go. Okay. Oh, hey, speaking of which, I want to follow this tether line. Where did this go? Was it me just looking around? Oh, okay. Excellent. This must have been a long time ago that I did this. Grab every little bite I can. That's 1 ammonium. I saw it show up. Is that organic? Yeah. Alright, I think I've depleted this one. I am not seeing any more. Okay. Look around just a little bit more. Who knows? I might even find a really good deposit over here. Actually, this would be a good one to pull up because it's really close to. This is really beautiful though. Man, I hate that. I know it's just a game, but there's so many pretty things, and then we just kind of like destroy them. Oh. Let me just ditch that and ditch that. Compost, right? Whoa, 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 whoa. I'll probably never remember these are back here, but all right. Oh, no, I can do this. I was going to put it down, but I can do that right there. All right. So that's 6 ammonium. Excellent. That'll get me, I mean, at this point, I could get 3 each. 3 extra large turbines and 3 extra large solar panels. That'll give me a good amount of power, provided there is wind and sun. I also need graphene. So I'm sorry, I need graphite, but I think, yeah, I've got 6. Hey, that works out almost like perfect. And then the last thing is, of course, I do need hydrogen. So let me just go ahead and start that going. So hydrogen and ammonium gives me my hydrazine. Hydrazine and graphite gives me graphene. And I know I can do the little trick of the partial hydrogen to get the, the partial hydrazine to get the full graphene, but I think I'll be okay. I've got enough graphite at the moment. So here's the boring part, just waiting for things, right? Let's go ahead. We're going to get this prepared for hydrazine. So ammonium. Oh, that's... Oh! I forgot. It's a 2-to-1. I forgot about that. Well... I just found something to do while I'm waiting for that. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put you there, and I'm just gonna take the single rover. So, gonna go scouting for more if I can find where that was. It was in this hill somewhere. This game is so pretty. I know it's, you know, voxel and not high resolution or whatever you want to call it, but it is still just a very pretty game. Alright. This is a bad idea. I'm going to get so lost back here. Oh, there's the tether line. So it was kind of this way from the tether line. There it is. Alright. Oh, oh no! Come back. Yep. Get out of here. We don't want your kind. I say that now, but then I'm going to be looking for carbon as well for the steel. Oh. All right. That is 18, so that'll be enough for the time being. Let's take this back. And I should have a little bit of hydrogen by now. I was just thinking of the early days of rovers, if you played this game, and some of the rover physics where you would hook one rover up to another and then suddenly they're both up in orbit. All right. All right, 10. Let's just go ahead and we'll do that. So that will get me, without a doubt, enough. What's the word I'm looking for? Graphene. I mean, I can only get 6, so. Excuse me, I'm sorry. All right, just want to fill up that one. Oh, I just realized, actually, I had that one too, so. And then that's when the power, look at that, the power just like, okay. This is a lot less, it's only 10U, so. Let's just go all the way. I'm gonna have to pluck these. Oh, hey, and that did complete. Oh, that's right. That's right. It unlocks the VTOL. And believe it or not, I don't really need this right now for soil, so. I love how you can just throw, you know, hydrazine and dirt into the same canister almost interchangeably. It'll be fine. You won't have explosive dirt or, contaminated fuel. Maybe it's a self-cleaning device. All right, turn that off because that'll be my... Oh, wait, no, I need one more. Okay, so... There we go. Now I can turn this off. All right. All right. Now I want to go to the graphene. For when I finally get automation, and this is more or less taken care of. And yeah, it got really slow, didn't it? With me just sitting here watching chemistry lab. And then I'm also going to need copper, aluminum alloy, and ceramic and iron. Okay. I have the iron, I think. The aluminum alloy, I don't think I have it yet. So I've got to find... more copper. Actually, I think I do have copper. How much copper do I have? Oh, I got 2. All right, and I have the iron. And I don't have aluminum, but aluminum is not a huge problem. It is in a lot of places here. All right, this will be the last one. So we can undo that. And we can, or I can start working on addressing the power, because of course, hey, this main street doesn't operate without power. You gotta have the lights on somehow. So I guess the irony is I could just swap out graphite for graphene in that canister. Put that back on there. All right, we've got graphene. We have ammonium. Let's get this put away. Let's see if I can get my metals on the top. There we go. All right. So I need aluminum for the aluminum alloy. So let's go down below and grab a little bit of laterite. I think I found some back here last time I was wandering around. Or was that at the home base? It was behind this ramp. Okay, it must have been home base that it was behind the ramp. Oh, wait, I think I saw some over here. Nope, that was compound. Darn it. Don't get lost. It is so easy to get lost underground. Alright, so laterite. I remember this in another save of mine where it was one of the first limited time events that System Era introduced, and you needed, of all things, aluminum alloy. And I was struggling to find laterite. It was just really somewhat um, annoying how difficult it is. Like, I can't find any laterite. I think I'm going to have to take a rover. Oh, I don't have a drill. Damn it. Excuse me. I don't have a drill to take down there. All right. Well, I've got things started. I have a number of deposits of ammonium scouted out. I'm going to start building some power production, so I'll have the solar and the wind turbines. And I'm hoping to find batteries to help collect. Oh, never. You know what? I'm running right by it, and there's aluminum right here. Okay. Um, but so get some of that going. The turbines and arrays, and just getting power under control. That's the next step. So for right now, that's where I'm at. Going to continue in the next episode with working on that particular thing. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kids of all ages, I will see all of you in the next episode of Astroneer. Take care and bye.